Thank you, Mr. Vice Moderator, and good evening to all of you. The purpose of this report tonight is twofold. The first is to express gratitude for financial giving to the Presbytery, and the second is to provide information about just exactly how you have done. The ACT is made up of several teams that take the responsibilities that we have for overseeing the functions of the Presbytery. And one of those teams is the Funds Development Team. And if you can have the next slide, please. Whoops. The Funds Development Team is responsible for overseeing the work of the education of the Presbytery on the financial story of what's taking place within the Presbytery financially. And the three items that are up on the screen represent the three significant areas that the Funds Development Team uses in order to do their education process. We're going to talk about each one of these three areas, but you can see per capita makes things happen. That's kind of a theme for doing our per capita education. And through your contributions to per capita, we're able to fund our ministry of supporting pastors, congregations, and the greater denomination. Up in the far right-hand corner on the screen, you see Jim and Marie Chestnut Legacy Giving. They provided a great gift to the Presbytery in honor of their 63 years of ministry together. And that Chestnut Fund now provides support for those items in the budget that have a tendency to get defunded first, but many times have the most long-lasting impact within the Presbytery. And then finally, the Presbyterian Missional Giving is another vehicle by which our faith, cares, and passions for spiritual and disciple formation are broadcast to the world. Next slide, please. Again, we want to express gratitude to all of the churches that are in the Presbytery, to all of you who represent the leadership of the churches within the Presbytery, and for the giving that you have done through your generous gifts in support of the ministry of the Presbytery of the Highlands. We thank you for your giving. Let's talk about each one of these three areas that we were highlighting. The first area is per capita. Last year, your contributions to per capita exceeded our expectations. There was an increase of 3% over the previous year in per capita giving. And because of that increase in giving, we were able, in the budget that was adopted for this year, to reduce the uncollectible line that we anticipate in our budget by 2%. And that gave us extra resources that we could then use to support the ministry of our congregations and pastors. Everything from producing videos that can be used within the congregations to help educate the session and members of the congregation, to pastor ordination and installation services, the financial management workshop that we hold in the fall each year for church treasurers, for elders, for church administrators, to understand the inner workings of how things have to happen within the Presbytery financially. And the hybrid meeting such as we're having tonight happens because we have the resources that come from your giving for per capita. So thank you for that. Next slide. The Jim and Marie Chestnut Fund is a gift that began benefiting us in the budget last year. And it is a result of the gifts that Jim and Marie left to the Presbytery that we are now able to fund some of the things in our Presbytery, supporting resourcing of our congregations, young leader formation projects, and the triennium that sends our young people off to that conference. So that fund was established as a tool to develop sources of income for projects like these. Many times, these are the ones that would get defunded first when we run short on funds. So again, we thank you for your designations of giving to the Chestnut Fund to help us be able to keep these things funded. The next slide shows us the missional giving within the presbytery. And again, your contributions in 2023 exceeded our expectations by 142%. Your giving was amazing last year for missional giving. And that extra giving supports our contributions to Camp Johnsonburg, to Young Leader Formation, and other projects for leader development within the presbytery. So, 2 words to finalize this report. Thank you.